Well, here we are once again, Barry and Joe, and look who's in our sandwich today.
Yay!
It's
Yay!
Ava King.
Yay! It's me! It's me!
Where are you now? Because from the looks of your bio, you could be in China or France or America. Where in the world are you?
Exactly. So now I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, yay!
I'm in my kitchen below this clock that I have not. It's not working. I haven't changed the battery.
Because wow, that's really early in the morning for us. Oh man.
Yeah, or it's 5. Or it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know.
It's right on time for the show, man. That's when the show's on at 5 o'clock. That's cool,
Woo.
Man.
Cool,
So,
super.
do you live in Los Angeles now? Is that your thing? Because I saw you on TikTok doing a lot of things. We had this other one on, a couple days ago that was like doing instrumental. She was teaching people how to play Tom Petty and stuff.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, she was doing guitar riffs on YouTube.
Wow.
Besides doing music and acting, what was that girl's name again? Please remind me.
Devin
Barry.
Thompson is her name.
Devin
Yeah.
Thompson. So Devin Thompson is a singer-songwriter, actress, but she also does guitar tutorials online. She does makeup tutorials online.
Wow.
She does really funny little TikToks.
Those two
and stuff
things
like that.
specifically on TikTok. And I noticed on yours, you have a couple of things that you do on your TikTok too.
Do I? Oh man,
Don't
on my
you?
TikTok, I have a couple of things.
Aren't
Do
you on
I?
TikTok doing stuff?
I think I am. What am I doing?
There's so many socials now. It's like, how do we even know? Like, okay, here's a better question. Here's a better question. What social media platform do you like?
Thank you,
the
Joe.
most?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. No, I mean, I do have a TikTok. I generally on TikTok though, I'm just like talking. I don't know if I'm doing stuff. I mean, like I'm producing. Sometimes I'm like showing people how I produce the music.
Sure.
Sometimes,
Maybe I'm looking at your Instagram stories. See, I'm an old guy and I just kind of dipped out of social media.
You can't even tell them apart. They look completely different.
I don't know.
Hey, it's confusing for me on the best of days. No, I think on Instagram, because I can't be honestly bothered to do different content so I probably do the same content. But what do I do? Oh, on Instagram, I think I had this video recently where I did I've started doing a little bit of comedy, so snippets of the show I'm writing.
Nice.
It's coming out in February. So I did a little bit of a comedic piece about
I'm gonna want to get back to that.
About sex on the third date and anal sex.
Is that actually okay? Okay, I have to admit, I've been out of the dating game for a while because I found myself a lovely wife, and she is
Here we go.
perfect for me. But so I've been out, I got into dating early, and I was like an eHarmony guy, like way back in the day, right? But dating now has to be completely different. Is that even still a thing, like the sex on the third date thing? I hope not, because that was just a really bad idea.
No, she didn't say just sex on the third date. I don't.
Well, no, I know that. I'm asking her a question as a younger person. Is that still something that people talk about? Like, oh, if I like the person, I'm going to have sex on the third date? Because I always thought that was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, was that true for you?
It was a
back
thing.
in 60
It was a
years
thing.
ago.
90s, early 2000s. Seriously, it was a thing. It's like, oh, third date, gonna have sex tonight. And it's like,
wow.
It set people up for such misery and disappointment and harassment and all these other awful things. Like,
yeah.
So I'm asking you, as a younger person who is probably still dating, what is dating like now?
Yeah.
Dating for someone like you who's like a personality and like has fans and stuff. Is it harder?
Yeah, well, actually, so I just got out of the dating game a week ago. So now I have a boyfriend, but boyfriend. I'm freshly out of the dating game, so I can still give you some perspective. Yeah, sex on the third date, it's still a thing.
Oh, it is still a thing?
And yeah, if in my experience, it's like if a guy doesn't get that, for me, like my rules are very strict, so I don't engage in sex before 3 months of knowing somebody.
Okay.
So very few people can can like automatically cuts out 95% of the dating pool because most people will not wait.
Like I mean, I get it. It's like I mean, I like sex. Most people like sex, but it's not what makes a relationship. And people just they tend to base like the success or failure of a relationship on like, oh, I got some, or it was good sex, or you know, it was oh man, that's all. But then that's all the relationship becomes, and it's like, you know, you're an artist. You're gonna want to have someone who is supportive of you and understands that like being an artist is hard. Trying to be a personality and getting out there is difficult, and sometimes you're gonna hit some road bumps, and you need someone who's gonna be supportive of you in that. But if you're basing a relationship just on sex and not getting to know someone, you're setting yourself up for failure. So your whole 3 months no physical rule, man, I am backing that. Man, that is awesome.
No, thanks. And that's such great perspective about, you know, it's like I think the things that I see on TV or the things that I hear among friend groups are like, oh, we had great sex, it's going to be a great relationship, right? And then I realized, and then sort of what I've come to realize is that really the good sex is a result of a good connection and of like difficult conversations being had, you know. So at the beginning of getting to know my boyfriend, we had a lot of difficult conversations and just difficult moments and conflict, and that was really healthy, I thought, you know. Like
it breeds intimacy, like having those difficult conversations and actually figuring out who the other person is as a human being, and not just like an object, or like, oh, the cool singer up on stage, I want to have a trophy because she's a personality. You know, like all that stuff is such BS. And it's like, so hey, you wanted to talk about weird stuff, random weird stuff, and
I love this topic. I love this topic.
But I have just figured that.
Wait, hold on. You never let her give us dating advice for the younger generation.
Dating advice for the younger generation. Okay, let's go. What are your 3 top things that you would like to tell Gen? Is it Alpha now? Yeah, I think it's Alpha now. What do you want to tell the youngest kids, like the 10, 12-year-olds, who in a couple years are going to start getting into dating? You know, what are you telling them?
Yeah.
Hey, Barry, you got to start early, Barry. Trust me.
No, I think, thanks for asking me. I love this topic. I think something that's coming to mind right now for me is practice saying no to the person very early on to test how they take your no. So just by the way that people take your boundaries, you can learn so much about their emotional maturity.
And you're not talking about how I say no when I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, not like that. You're talking like a respectful no, like, no, I'm cool, I don't want to do that.
What is your partner asking you that you're having that reaction?
Oh no, those are my cats. That's what I say to my cats. Like, you know, they're very mean, and they get up on the table.
Irrelevant.
At me all the time for food. I'm having to constantly tell them. I had to learn how to say no with my cats.
That is because cats don't have boundaries, man.
They do not have boundaries.
Man, that is difficult. I'm loving this. For me.
My wife is wonderful, and I am very respectful of her, and so yes, I will say no. But here's the thing, it's like everybody has their moments, and I tend to be the guy who, if I get into something, I'm like hyper focused. It's like when it's akin to when baseball players who say they're in the batter's box and they're getting ready for that pitch, and the entire crowd disappears, and it all just becomes quiet. Because all they're focusing on is the ball in the pitcher's hand. They can't even see the pitcher's face. They're just following that ball, and everything else blanks out. When I am in a zone, Barry can attest to this, I hear nothing. Nothing else.
Good though.
It's a personality quirk that can be good and bad. I can hyper focus, but when
Joe, you just gotta need an on-off switch with you. You don't have that. You gotta need an on-off switch. Somebody stuck it on all the time.
I'm trying to think of other advice, dating advice to give.
Oh well, you already gave us one. Okay, so that was one. The first one was test how people accept your boundaries. The second, what I think you already said. The second was the 3 months of physical intimacy thing. Be friends with someone first. Get to know them as a person. See if you just like hanging out in your downtime. Because a lot of relationships are just like, hey, man, we got 2 hours until bed. You want to watch TV, play a video game, or a board game? And if you guys are out of sync in that, like if one person's constantly like, let's go to the bar, let's go hang out with friends, let's stay out until 2 a.m. And the other person is like, I just want to make a nice dinner and like maybe watch some Dateline and go to bed. Those compatibility issues are going to be difficult, but you find that out with those tough conversations. Not being physically intimate for 3 months, not 3 days. Dates, people. 3 months, calendar pages.
I'll throw in one last one, and I think it's being ruthless about clarity very early on.
Oh, okay.
So
explain that.
Yeah, so I ask all the questions normally people tell you not to ask. So I ask about whether the person's in debt. I ask about whether, like, I very early on, like getting clear, like, are you looking for a relationship? If you're not looking for a relationship, it's just a waste of time. Like,
I don't. People lie about that just to get sex.
No, nobody's lied about that to me.
Oh, people have. Wow.
I was on the apps, right? That's how I met my boyfriend. The first question I ask is just, hey, are you looking for a relationship, or are you looking for something casual? And people will, men are very honest. They'll just be like, hey, I'm looking for something casual. And I'm just like, hey, wish you the best. And they're like, hey, wish you the best.
Men of which generation?
Oh, well, I'm almost 40.
Most men,
so...
Joe.
No, most men are not honest. That's what I'm just like. What I'm
They're
getting
direct.
At.
They're
direct.
Direct comes before honesty. Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe you don't know that you've been lied to. But I don't think you can lie about like the basics. You know, a lot of people are straightforward.
This time around the dating, people complain about dating, but I've had such amazing experiences with people that have just been like, hey, I want something casual. And I'm just like, all my love and respect to you, man. Like, go for it. Go out and get it.
I'm the asshole then? It was all me?
No,
I have all these weird thoughts about what dating was like and how men are. I'm not giving men enough credit, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I guess it depends. It depends how you go in, right? Like I've had so many. I had a date. Actually, this was really beautiful. I had a date with somebody who was obviously an alcoholic on our first date. Just like ticked all the red flags off, and then I actually, we had a really honest conversation after the date where I was like a text conversation where I was like, hey, I think you're an alcoholic. I can't date you, but like, please get to AA and take care of yourself. And he was like, I'm so grateful for your honesty, like wishing you, I don't know, man. Like I've had awful dating experiences in the past, but yeah, I've been in recovery for a few years and working 12-step programs, and man, everything's changed. The people in my life have changed.
Interesting.
Like, okay. Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah.
Does all this come out in your music?
Oh yeah. We should talk.
Oh wait, you're a singer? Oh, I totally forgot. Oh, I thought you were just a relationship advice columnist. Oh my bad. Sorry, I'm talking about the totally wrong subject.
I like how Barry is on the side and is like, wait, is this a dating show? What is going on? Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah. So the Worst in Me, right? Which is the single that just released. That's a song basically kind of just about hating somebody's guts, but also admitting that, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. We just hate each other's guts. Like, that's it. We're just not compatible as friends or lovers or, so for me, I think that's healing the part of me that needs to blame, that needs to be like, that needs to blame and shame people. Right. So that was that. Right. And then I'm working on an album that's going to be released in February called Sex, Money, God. And that's all about, like, I have this persona in my music that's the pre-recovered me. Still actually very much me, but who's a complete total narcissist and completely manipulative and controlling. And so kind of the album story is, going from that manipulative, controlling person to somebody who, just surrenders and kind of gives up.
Well, how long have you been working on this? Well, actually, okay, let's take a step back here. You've been in recovery for 3 years. Did you start the album project before then, or is this like a culmination of some of the recovery steps that you've been through and kind of having the opportunity of looking at some past experiences in a new light? Like now you're sober and you're looking back going, I wonder why I did that back then when I was drinking.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think, it's honestly songs I just wrote through recovering, right? So through withdrawal when I was just really at my worst, you don't have your drug of choice. Like that's not fun. And then, no, it's been cool. I guess I've been writing, I guess you're right. Thanks for helping me reflect on this. I think I've been writing this for the past 2-3 years. Just kind of as my world is shifting, as the way I see things, as the way I see myself, as the way as my world has shifted. Yeah, I've just been writing this. So it'll be cool. It's like sex, money, and then God. So hopefully the songs towards the end of the album, are a little bit more hopeful.
So, are you actually producing it as kind of like a story album where you listen to the songs front to back and it like tells a progression of kind of like your life and your songwriting in those times?
I think so. Yeah. So the idea is that the first, it's all, for me, it's a lot about, it's kind of about, it's about my search for God. Right. And, God can be a doorknob. God can be my microwave. Anything outside of myself is probably better at running. Yeah, God's the DJ. Anything outside of, the idea is like anything outside of myself is probably better at running my life than my mind, with the decisions that I make, right? But yeah, so the first few songs, I think, as a woman, are just really about finding God in sex and being a sexual being, right? And that's very glorified in today's society. If you're a woman, if you're not sexy, what are you doing? Kind of a thing, right? Why do you exist? So that was finding.
But sexy has different definitions. So it's not just like physical beauty. It's also like how you think and how you talk and how you treat other people. Because treating someone with empathy and compassion to me is like stupid sexy. I love that kind of stuff. It shows a lot of emotional growth.
Well, I feel like you're very healthy in your way of assessing sexuality. That's a very healthy.
Let's talk for another half hour, and you'll
wait. Totally Joe, you're not talking about your cats again, right? This is about your relationship.
Just about me. Just about me right now. We'll get into my cats in detail at a different episode. Ooh, that's gonna take hours to unravel. That's a deep one.
Oh man, I'd love to be there for the cat episode.
They won't let you get a word in edgewise. I'm telling you, they're jerks.
So talking about sexuality, right? But there's the unhealthy prism, which women, when we look in our, I don't know, I don't speak for all women, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just like, oh man, I just tear myself apart, right? And then there's the next kind of like triptych is money. So it's like how we validate ourselves as human beings through our assets, through capitalism, it's very, I feel like all these themes are very pervasive in pop music and in rap. It's kind of like, as a man, your value is your wallet. As a woman, your value is like your tits and your ass, And then the third part of the album is, hey, like, how can I step out of those ways of ranking myself as a human being and just be okay with being like, hey, I'm just the way I am. I'm like a 37-year-old woman. And, and that's cool. Right? Like,
it says you're gratitude. A Cancer. Your bio says you're a Cancer, and I am too. So I really understand where you're coming from. I was born on the 13th.
Ooh, of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's why I don't get along with you, Barry. Because I'm a Virgo. Oh, it all makes sense.
What are the Cancer characteristics? Because I don't know much about astrology.
Oh, neither do I. I thought you did.
He's just throwing it out, trying to sound smart.
Yeah.
But you know what? There are a lot of big famous names that people have thrown out talking about you, like Lady Gaga, Charlie XCX, Gwen Stefani, Billie Eilish. Those are all like big pop stars. Is that where you're going? Because I listened to the song and I agree. It's very good. So,
thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So, how did you produce that music? Where did it come from?
Yeah.
How did you talk about the mix and stuff?
Yeah. And thank you so much for bringing the topic back to
I got to do that,
No. Yeah. So I, when I was originally producing it, I was like, it was basically a song about this friendship that was super toxic, and I just hated the person's guts, but like, also like everybody around her was like, she's such a great person. And I was just like, yeah, she's such a great person, but I hate her so much, and
everybody knows the type. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, gorgeous person, like just beautiful on the inside and out, super, like, I don't know. There was something about it. I was like, maybe it's just because she was too perfect. I was like, I hate her. I can't be her, And so, so at the time I was like, oh, what's the evilest sounding possible music for this, And I thought, oh, there's this thing called the devil's interval, the tritone. Da, 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 da. Like that's the devil's tritone. It's like known as like the evilest interval. And I was like, this characterizes her.
They use it for Darth Vader's march. That's why it sounds so evil. Listen to it again. It'll blow your mind.
That is such a vibe. Exactly. Okay, so yes. So that that I'm very proud of myself as a creative because obviously I got something right.
Oh no, you nailed. No, if you are looking for an ominous sound, man, you nailed it right there. You hit it right on that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. All right, that's what's up. Wait, who did the Darth Vader march? Was it Hans Zimmer or like anyway, great minds think alike.
For Star Wars, no, John Williams,
John Williams,
great composer. He did like Star Wars, E.T., Indiana Jones, like all the good stuff.
So it's me and John Williams. Yeah. So, but yeah, coming back to your question, Barry. So it was. So that's kind of what started the song, and I guess just from there it was really easy writing because I just channeled all my hatred.
Yes.
It was like, what do I actually
feel? The anger, embrace.
So wait, did you like mix that and everything? Is that all you then?
Yes.
Wow. See, that was what I was looking for. So you're amazing. You're a multi-talented artist. You do it all. You're a one-stop shop. You can sell ketchup popsicles to people in white gloves. I love the things that you're doing.
Ketchup popsicles and white gloves?
You can sell ketchup popsicles to people in white gloves.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That's a super cool image.
You're golden king.
Thank you so much.
But we got to have you back when your full album's out because we're running out of time. We got to play the song. We got to play Worse Than Me now. We got to play it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Where are you at now? Are you like going to be out in public touring this song, or like are you going on other shows? And am I going to see you on Jimmy Fallon or something?
Oh please, no, not Jimmy Fallon. Go to Jimmy Kimmel. We like Jimmy Kimmel.
From your mouth to God's ears. But I hope I get back on this show. It was really amazing talking to you guys. So right now I'm just gearing up for this show, the Sex Money God show that I'm writing, and it's coming out. I think we're gonna be up at Upright Citizens Brigade on February 5th of next year. Yeah. So just trying to write that show.
So at Upright, is that going to be a comedy show with music? Is it going to be like a musical comedy?
Yeah, so it's a comedy show. It's a commentary on how narcissistic it's a one-woman show that's commenting on how narcissistic one-woman shows are. So the whole show is just basically about how I use the show to get all my friends trapped in this place. They can't leave. They just have to listen to my music and my trauma for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Fantastic. You know
I've been there. I was a friend. I've been
a
friend, many a friend to those, and I enjoyed them, at least 6 out of 10. But I mean, yours is going to be really good because I mean, you're
Thanks.
multi-talented. I'm very, very proud of what you're doing there. All right, let's play the song "Worse Than Me," and please come back for that show once you have it all written.
I'd love it. Yes.
Yeah, please do. And bring more college words like triptych.
Ooh.
I love college words.
I'll get my fancy words ready.
Can you leave us with the fancy word now before we play "Worse Than Me"?
Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles. Ooh, that's a big one.
Mephistopheles. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think it's the devil. It's another word for the devil.
Ooh.
See, I see where this is headed.
Yeah.
All right. Ava King, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Yay. Thank you for having me.